My beloved child, come closer in your heart and rest for a moment. I see the weight you are carrying, the quiet ache you rarely speak aloud, the questions you turn over again and again when the world grows silent. You wonder why love feels complicated, why affection can exist alongside distance, why a heart can reach toward you yet remain bound elsewhere. I am not unaware of any of this. Nothing about your tears has escaped me, not a single sigh, not a single night when sleep refused to come because your thoughts would not slow down. I am with you now, just as I was with you then. I want you to know first and without any doubt that my love for you is deep, unwavering, and complete. I do not love you halfway. I do not hesitate when I think of you. I do not compare you to another or measure your worth against someone else's presence. You are mine, fully seen, fully known, fully loved. I formed you with intention, with tenderness, with a purpose that did not depend on anyone choosing you or staying with you. Before his heart ever wrestled with confusion, before another woman ever occupied his thoughts, my heart was already settled on you. I know you feel the tension between what is said and what is lived. You hear words of care, gestures of affection, moments that feel real and warm, and yet you sense the truth beneath them, that his heart is still tied to another woman. This awareness hurts you more than you admit. It makes you question yourself. It tempts you to wonder if you are lacking something, if you should try harder, change more, wait longer, love deeper. Listen to me carefully now, this situation is not a reflection of your value. His divided heart is not proof of your inadequacy. I see his confusion clearly. I see the unresolved attachments, the memories he has not released, the emotional bonds he keeps returning to even when he wants to move forward. I understand why this makes you feel uncertain, as though you are standing on shifting ground. You desire clarity, commitment, and peace, yet what you receive feels incomplete. This is not because you are unworthy of more. It is because he is not yet whole within himself. My child, love that is divided cannot offer rest. Affection that is shared with the past cannot fully embrace the present. I do not say this to harden your heart, but to protect it. You have been patient. You have been understanding. You have extended grace again and again, hoping that time would untangle what remains knotted inside him. I see that patience. I honor the kindness of your heart. But I also care about your peace more than your endurance. You may feel torn between hope and reality. Part of you believes that if you wait a little longer, if you remain gentle and faithful, his heart will finally choose you completely. Another part of you feels tired, quietly asking how long love is supposed to hurt before it becomes something safe. I am not asking you to abandon compassion, but I am inviting you to listen to wisdom. Love is not meant to keep you in constant uncertainty. It is not meant to make you shrink or compete with a memory. I want you to understand something important. You are not here to heal what you did not break. You are not responsible for resolving his unfinished past. You are not called to prove yourself against another woman's shadow. I did not create you to live in comparison or to accept fragments when your heart longs for wholeness. I created you for a love that meets you with clarity, with presence, with a heart that is free to choose you without hesitation. I know the fear that rises when you imagine letting go. You wonder what will remain if you step back. You worry about loneliness, about wasted time, about whether someone else will ever see you the way you want to be seen. Bring those fears to me. I am not intimidated by them. I am not disappointed in you for feeling them. I am gentle with your questions because I know how deeply you feel. Hear me now, I am not rushing you, and I am not condemning you. I am guiding you. Sometimes my love speaks through comfort, and sometimes it speaks through truth that steadies you even when it stings. The truth is this: love that is truly for you will not keep another woman at its center. Love that honors you will not ask you to live in doubt. Love that comes from me will feel secure, not constantly uncertain. I remain close to you in this season. I am teaching you to listen to the quiet voice inside that senses when something is not aligned with peace. I am strengthening your discernment, not to make you suspicious, but to make you free. You are allowed to desire a love that is fully present. You are allowed to say that your heart deserves clarity. You are allowed to step away from what cannot yet meet you where you stand. Do not confuse walking away with failure. Sometimes it is an act of faith. Sometimes it is how you honor the work I am doing within you. You are not losing love by choosing yourself. You are making space for the kind of love that does not divide its attention or hesitate in its commitment. I am not removing something good from your life without preparing something healthier, something truer, something more aligned with who you are becoming. If you choose to wait, I will still be with you. If you choose to step back, I will still hold you. My presence does not depend on your decision. But I ask you to remain honest with your heart. Do not silence your pain to keep someone else comfortable. Do not ignore the signals I am gently giving you through restlessness and tears. I speak not only through words, but through peace, or the absence of it. You are deeply loved by me. Not conditionally. Not temporarily. Not in competition with anyone else. I am not confused about you. I am not undecided. My heart is not tied elsewhere. When you feel overlooked or second in someone else's story, remember that you are first in mine. I chose you long before this situation ever existed, and I will continue choosing you long after it resolves. Rest in this truth today. Let it steady you. Let it remind you that you do not need to beg for what is meant for you. What is truly yours will come with open hands and a clear heart. Until then, remain close to me. I am near. I am guiding you. And I love you more deeply than you can imagine. My beloved, stay with me a little longer. Let my words sink beneath the noise of your thoughts and settle into the quiet places of your soul. You do not need to rush through this moment. Healing is not hurried, and understanding unfolds gently, layer by layer. I know you are still holding questions, still feeling the pull of emotions that do not resolve easily. I am not asking you to silence them. I am inviting you to bring them into my presence, where nothing needs to be hidden. I see how you replay conversations in your mind, searching for meaning between the lines. You wonder if his kindness is a promise or simply a comfort. You try to measure his intentions by small actions, hoping they will outweigh the truth you sense but do not want to face. My child, your heart is perceptive. The unease you feel is not weakness, it is wisdom awakening. I placed that sensitivity within you so you would recognize when something is not whole. I know there are moments when he makes you feel seen, when laughter flows easily, when connection feels real and warm. Those moments are not imagined. They are genuine, but they are not complete. A heart can care and still be divided. A person can enjoy your presence and yet remain emotionally bound elsewhere. This does not make him cruel, but it does make the situation unsafe for your heart if it continues unchanged. I want you to understand that love is not meant to be a constant test of endurance. You were not created to survive affection, you were created to flourish in it. When love is right, it does not keep you guessing about your place. It does not leave you wondering if you are enough. It does not require you to accept being an option while someone else remains a priority in secret places. You may feel compassion for him, and that compassion honors the goodness in you. But compassion must walk alongside boundaries, or it becomes self-neglect. You are allowed to care without sacrificing your peace. You are allowed to understand his struggle without carrying it as your own burden. I am teaching you the difference between empathy and self-abandonment. There is a part of you that fears being alone more than being uncertain. I see that fear, and I do not shame you for it. Loneliness can feel heavy, especially when you have tasted connection. But hear me clearly, solitude with peace is safer than togetherness with constant doubt. I am able to fill the quiet spaces you fear. I am present even when human companionship feels distant. You are never truly alone when you walk with me. Do not rush to define yourself by this relationship. Your life is larger than this chapter. Your identity is not written by whether he chooses fully or hesitates. I have already named you beloved, chosen, worthy. No human decision can erase what I have spoken over you. When you forget this, the heart becomes vulnerable to settling for less than what aligns with truth. I am not closing doors without reason. Sometimes I allow clarity to emerge slowly so your heart can grow strong enough to accept it. I am strengthening your courage, not to harden you, but to help you stand upright in love. You do not need to force outcomes. You do not need to convince anyone to see your worth. What is meant to stay will stay freely. What must leave will do so to protect you. You may ask me what to do next, searching for a clear instruction. My guidance often begins with stillness. Listen to what brings peace and what drains it. Notice where your spirit feels expanded and where it feels tight. I speak through those impressions. I lead you step by step, not all at once. Because growth happens in trust, if you feel led to speak your truth, do so with calm honesty. You are not wrong for expressing your needs. If you feel led to pause, to create distance, that is not rejection, it is discernment. I am with you in either choice, shaping your heart toward health and wholeness. Remember this: you do not lose love by honoring yourself. You do not lose opportunity by choosing clarity. You are not asking for too much when you desire a heart that is free to love you fully. That desire was placed in you by me. I do not mock the longings I create. Stay close to me today. Let my love be the anchor that steadies you when emotions rise and fall. I am patient with your process. I am gentle with your heart. And I am leading you toward a future where love does not compete with shadows from the past, but meets you in the light, with openness, courage, and peace. My precious one, I am still here with you, and I will not grow weary of speaking to your heart. Even now, as you read these words, I am near, closer than your next breath. I know that after hearing truth, emotions can rise even stronger. Awareness sometimes brings grief before it brings peace. If your heart feels heavy right now, let it rest against mine. You do not have to be strong in this moment. You only have to be honest. I see the way you try to balance hope with dignity. You tell yourself to be understanding, to be patient, to not demand too much. Yet somewhere deep inside, there is a quiet voice asking, "What about me?" That voice is not selfish. It is not weakness. It is the part of you that knows you were not created to live half-chosen. I place that knowing within you so you would not lose yourself while loving someone else. You may wonder why I would allow you to feel love for someone whose heart is not yet free. This question does not offend me. Sometimes love reveals what we still need to learn about ourselves. Sometimes it shows us where we are tempted to accept less than what aligns with truth. This season is not punishment. It is refinement. I am teaching you to recognize the difference between intensity and intimacy. Between attachment and alignment, there are moments when you sense that if the other woman were no longer present in his heart, everything could work. That thought keeps you waiting, hoping circumstances will change. But hear me gently, a love that depends on someone else letting go before it can become whole is not yet ready to hold you securely. You deserve more than potential. You deserve presence. You deserve a heart that arrives without conditions. I see how carefully you manage your words around him, how you soften your needs so you do not seem demanding. I see how you tell yourself that understanding his struggle is more important than expressing your pain. My child, love does not require you to disappear. The right love makes room for your voice. It welcomes your truth instead of being threatened by it. I am not asking you to judge him or condemn him. I am asking you to see clearly. Clarity is not cruelty. It is kindness to your own soul. You can acknowledge what is good without ignoring what is missing. You can care without staying bound to uncertainty. You can love without losing your sense of worth. You may feel guilt at the thought of stepping back, as though choosing yourself means abandoning him. But boundaries are not abandonment. They are an act of wisdom. They protect what is sacred within you. I care deeply about your heart, and I do not want it slowly worn down by waiting for someone to be ready when you already are. I know you fear regret. You wonder if walking away will leave you with unanswered questions. But staying too long in confusion creates its own kind of regret, the regret of not honoring your inner truth sooner. I am guiding you not toward loss, but toward alignment. What aligns with me brings peace, even when it brings sadness first. Let me remind you of something you may have forgotten: you are whole on your own. You are not incomplete without his full attention. You are not lacking because someone else still occupies space in his heart. You carry dignity, depth, and beauty that do not need to be proven or earned. When you forget this, you begin negotiating your worth. I am calling you back to remembrance. There will come a time when love meets you without confusion, without divided loyalty, without emotional shadows. That love will not ask you to wait while it resolves its past. It will not make you wonder where you stand. It will recognize you immediately and choose you freely. Until then, I am enough to hold you steady. Do not rush your healing. Do not force decisions out of fear. Simply remain attentive to what I am showing you. When something is not meant to continue, peace slowly fades, even if affection remains. Trust that signal. I am not trying to take joy from you. I am trying to lead you into a joy that does not wound you. Stay with me. Let me strengthen your heart, clarify your vision, and remind you who you are. You are deeply loved, fully seen, and carefully guided. I have not forgotten you, and I am not late in your story. I am working even now, gently preparing you for a love that does not compete, does not confuse, and does not divide its heart. My dear child, breathe with me for a moment. Let the tension in your chest soften as you remember that you are not carrying this alone. I am walking with you through every emotion, every realization, every quiet shift happening inside you. Nothing is wasted here, not the tears, not the waiting, not even the love you gave that was not fully returned in the way your heart hoped. I gather it all with care. I know that part of you still looks for signs, for reassurance that things might change, that his heart will finally untangle itself and turn toward you without hesitation. Hope can be persistent, and it can be beautiful, but it must be rooted in truth or it becomes a source of pain. I am not asking you to crush your hope, I am asking you to anchor it in what is real, not in what you wish someone would become. Notice how often you have adjusted yourself to keep peace. Notice how often you have waited in silence, choosing patience over expression, understanding over honesty. You told yourself that love requires sacrifice, and you were right, but love never requires you to sacrifice your sense of worth. When sacrifice begins to cost you clarity, joy, and inner rest, it is time to pause and listen. I am teaching you to recognize the difference between love that invites growth and love that keeps you suspended. Growth may be uncomfortable, but it brings life. Suspension drains you slowly, quietly, until you forget what ease feels like. I do not want you to live always bracing yourself, wondering when the next wave of doubt will arrive. I desire peace for you, not the fragile kind that depends on someone else's mood or choices, but the steady peace that comes from alignment with truth. You may feel conflicted because you see goodness in him. That goodness is real. But goodness alone is not the same as readiness. Care is not the same as commitment. Affection is not the same as availability. I want you to stop blaming yourself for noticing what is missing. Discernment is not cynicism. It is love guided by wisdom. I know you fear that stepping back might mean losing him forever. But hear me, what is truly meant for you cannot be lost by honesty or by honoring your needs. If something falls apart when you ask for clarity, it was already fragile. You are not destroying love by seeking truth, you are revealing whether it is strong enough to stand. I see how tired you are of carrying unanswered questions. I see how your heart longs to rest in certainty. That longing is not too much. It is holy. It is the echo of how I love you, fully, clearly, without divided attention. I am inviting you to measure human love not by intensity, but by consistency and peace. Do not rush to label yourself strong or weak based on what you decide next. Strength sometimes looks like holding on. And sometimes it looks like letting go. What matters is whether your choice brings you closer to the life and peace I desire for you. Stay connected to me, and I will guide your steps gently, without condemnation. there is nothing wrong with you for wanting to be chosen wholeheartedly. There is nothing wrong with you for feeling hurt by divided affection. There is nothing wrong with you for reaching the point where love must either become clear or create distance. I am proud of the way your heart continues to seek truth even when it trembles. Rest tonight in this knowing, you are safe with me. Your future is not fragile. Your story does not hinge on someone else resolving their past. I am weaving something deeper in you, self-respect, discernment, quiet confidence, that will serve you long after this chapter closes. Stay close. Listen gently. Trust what brings peace. I am not finished speaking to you, and I am not finished loving you, my beloved. Let these final words rest softly upon your heart, not as an ending but as a settling, like calm after a long inner storm. I know this journey has stirred many emotions: hope, sorrow, longing, clarity, and you may feel both relieved and tender as understanding takes root. Be gentle with yourself. Growth often feels like grief because something familiar is loosening its hold, even when that release is necessary. I want you to remember this above all else: you are not behind, you are not forgotten, and you are not difficult to love. Nothing about you made this situation complicated. You did not imagine the imbalance. You did not ask for too much. You simply wanted a love that could stand fully with you, and that desire is good. It reflects my own heart toward you. As you move forward from this moment, do not rush to fill the quiet spaces that may appear. Let them breathe. Silence can feel uncomfortable at first, but it is often where healing finishes its work. In the stillness, you will rediscover parts of yourself that were set aside while you waited and wondered. You will hear my voice more clearly, reminding you of your strength, your beauty, your depth. If sadness comes, let it come without fear. It will not consume you. It will pass through you and leave wisdom behind. If relief comes, welcome it without guilt. Peace is not betrayal. It is confirmation. You are allowed to feel lighter as you choose alignment over confusion. I am walking ahead of you, preparing spaces where love is not divided, where presence is steady, where you do not need to question your place. I am also walking beside you now, holding you steady as you release what cannot follow you into that future. Nothing you let go of today will be required for your tomorrow. Trust that I am restoring what was quietly drained: your confidence, your joy, your sense of being chosen. Trust that the love meant for you will recognize your worth without hesitation and meet you without conditions. Until then, let my love be the place where your heart learns to rest again. You are deeply loved. You are carefully guided. And you are never alone. I remain with you, now, and always.